Hey guys, Robert here, and I'm so excited to talk about the Superman trailer. Now, I've seen it. This is not a reaction or anything like that, but I just want to cover it. I have to cover it. I have to go over. I have to give my thoughts on why I'm so excited for this. So let's get started, shall we? It was perfect. We needed a great trailer, and we got it. We so got it. We got it. Okay, let's just start from the beginning. First of all, Clark, just landing here. Who knows what did this? But yet he still is good enough to whistle for Crypto to come and save him. So I'm curious on that. Uh, Geez, just look at that. The Daily Planet looks so good here. I believe that's Cat in the corner. I don't know. There's Cat definitely right there. Yeah, a lot of stuff that wasn't. There's a lot of stuff in here that wasn't in that little teaser. I just realized. But yeah, this feels like the Daily Planet. That's for sure. Oh, and we got hold on. We've got Rachel Broshan and here loved her in the marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Once I looked after she was cast. I said I'm gonna check the show out, and oh boy, does she definitely feel like she's gonna definitely have perfect Lois just from Miss Maisel alone. She feels perfect Lois, just the right attitude and everything, the spunk, her wit, especially. Now, of course, a lot for Miss Maple is the writing, obviously, but still, just looks so good. Let's go back to Clark. Oh, come on. Come on. Clark was earlier. Yep, there it is. His Clark. Again, I know there are people, Tris, who are not sure about how he looks. I mean, okay, some scenes where it really emphasizes the curls, not a fan of, but for the most part, he looks great. He looks fine. He looks perfectly fine. You know, when the sun is not showing off his curls. Oh, just up with him and Paul. Just really get that vibe. You really get the vibe of it, of everything. Okay, just oh, the whistling for Crypto. Oh, just look at it, Crypto, just like you know that's just what's going on, dude. Just look at this. This Crypto, here I come, here I come, here I come. Oh, just look at him! Look at him! Like I said, I kind of prefer the Labrador Crypto, but here it still works just as well. I get Crypto. Oh, great rescue and covering her neck and everything just to make sure nothing harms her. Oh, Nick Holt looks like he was born. I'm getting the the Gary Frank Lex Luthor right here. I am so much getting the Gary Frank Lex Luthor right here. I can't show an image right now. I'm doing this through OBS, but just look at the Doomsday Clock cover with Lex on it. That's what I'm getting right here with Nick Holt. It's Gary Frank Lex, and it's perfect. Luthor core instead of Lex core. That's fine. He looks like Hitman. He does look like Hitman here. Oh, Superman. Oh, this is great. Just him punching through. Oh, I love this kid. Superman. Okay. I had a realization of what my issue with the Snyderverse was. it wasn't that they botched how the characters were handled. I mean, in some regards they were, but the problem was the war. My problem was the world. The world was way too cynical, way too realistic, way too not the DC universe. It's like they were trying to take the DC characters and put them in a different world. It's kind of like what they're doing with Absolute Power, but without it being intentionally done to try and screw with the characters or anything like that. My issue is that they, how do I put this? The Snyderverse was just way too cynical. Now the whole idea is that, oh, Superman's going to bring hope and everything. They were taking too long to get to it. Way too long. That's probably one of the few things I did like about, I hate to say it, I did prefer about the Whedon cut. By comparison was, it definitely felt like the moment Superman came back, the world was already getting better. Now, the Snyder Cut did to a degree. I will not deny that, but it felt more so now. That's partly because they had to rush things through, granted. I completely acknowledge it. They kind of had to rush things through, but still, I still enjoyed it. But still, with the and that's another reason why I like Wonder Woman 84. That's probably one of the few things that the tone of the world felt not as perfectly and well balanced as this, but it felt closer to what I want. Now, I do not, basically, this is a world clearly that's brighter, feels more like you could see these heroes being accepted coming about, but it's cynical enough you can see people turn on Superman. They're not purely like, yeah, Superman, you can do no wrong. It's like, whatever reason that guy threw that can at Superman, for example, which I'll get back to. But this moment here, having this kid feeling like in the middle of all this turmoil, hold up the flag and just pray for Superman, hope he will hear you. Now, granted, would a Snyder Superman do this well? Yes. But here, it's still, again, this combined with everything else in this world is one thing I feel has been lacking. And I think it's one of the things that I don't think people really put in the words, but I think it's what turned off a lot of people. It was the world. The world itself in the DC expanded universe, the DCEU, was a hellhole. It was a hellhole. And while, yes, you can say Superman was there to try and improve it, it felt more like Superman and the others were affected by the world more so. And unfortunately that, I don't know if they ever could truly change the world when they were affected by it. Or again, if they did, have it be, oh, by the end we would get it. That shouldn't be your end goal. That was one of the biggest problems of the Snyderverse, or the DCEU, was the end goal was to give us the DC universe we wanted, and then they would have just restarted things over afterwards. And that should not have been the case. And I think that was the biggest problem with Man of Steel as well. You opened the world up too cynical. And then you had Metropolis be completely flattened by the end. I've said it before to others. This is like if you, Avengers 1, had the destructive level of Avengers 2 instead. Yeah. Or all everything that eventually led up to Civil War happened all in the first movie. Yeah, no. I know people say, oh, Avengers ended just like Metropolis. No, Metropolis was way more flattened and everything. And yet, things like that. There is a big difference between the two, in my opinion. And I think the MCU kind of had that tone to a point, which is why I think Gunn was perfect for here, because Gunn knows what tones to go with. Now, I know people are going to be saying, oh, but what about Peacemaker or Creature Commando? There's been darker signs in this world as well. That no one's going to deny that. Gunn wouldn't deny that. Oh, see, right here, the guy throwing it. See, like, this is cynical enough that you have people who are like, yeah, throwing stuff at here. So it's not pure, oh yeah, Superman can do no wrong. No. This is a world, much like post-crisis Superman. Up and then we get Guy and Hawkgirl, and this is Guy. Guy would so do this. He'd be showing up, having an attitude, but like, hey, we don't need these guys. As he would then put up a wall to make sure no one busts through. That is such a guy thing to do. I trust Gunn was Guy. I think he's going to give us the. I mean, have Philly in the role. They're definitely going to match up where he's going to be what makes Guy work best. He has an attitude, but he'll have your back. He's a guy you'll want to go have a drink with and everything. You might want to punch him later, but you also know he has your back. Oh, Hawk Girl. In fact, that's Dora still. Now, what is that monster? Does anyone know? Does anyone know what that monster is? It's like just some generic monster, I guess. But, oh, again, is that supposed to be Solaris, I wonder? I still think that has to be Solaris. Or it could be similar to Superman Up and Away, where Lex is using Kryptonian tech for all we know. Oh, this is another thing, of course. Chloe is for the win! But I think Gunn is going to also believe what made the Creeps movie work, which is that the romance has to work. Okay, people are saying that's Kellex. It could be, or it could just be another Superman robot in general. I am curious though what this is. It'll also be a new model of GI Robot, I believe he's supposed to have a cameo. Who can say? Oh, the Fortress. Metamorpho. When I first looked through this, I thought that was Brady. But then I was like, no, it is Metamorpho, and he looks perfect. He looks absolutely perfect. Ooh. Lex. All again is Lex looks. Now again, from what I'm hearing about this, the plot is Lex and Superman have known each other only through reputation. This is Lex's first time making a move on Superman, and I think that is perfect. Having this be the case where Lex is fine making the move, and he probably thinks, I've got this perfect plan. I know what I'm going to do. And it seems that it's not going to go his way. That's what it feels like. Bavarian troops amassing at border. Oh. Okay, now, from what everyone someone else is pointing out, this is apparently Ultramarine, not Ultraman. And, which makes way more sense than Ultraman, if you ask me. I mean, at least that's what some people are thinking it is. It's probably Ultramarine, not Ultraman. Or it could be part of the Ultramarine Corps, and they're calling him Ultraman. But it's of course very different. It's clearly not meant to be the same Ultraman. Nope, nothing saying about nothing on the wiki page yet, but I think that makes more sense. Oh, the T-spheres was just terrific. Again, this looks so damn good. We needed something to be good, and it delivered. It's so delivered, and yet not giving much away. But there's one thing I always I always say about with a good trailer is that get enough to tantalize you, but not give it away. Oh wait, I just realized that's from the giant monster we seen earlier. Nice. But again, I am so hyped. I am so pumped up for this. This is Superman. This is the Superman I've been wanting, and this is the DC universe I've been wanting. Like I said, what Snyder did, all right, but it's not. I think that's where the biggest problem was. It was taking DC characters and putting it in a ultra realistic world and having the world affect them, as opposed to and then taking making it a slog, and I hate to say it, that's what it was, a slog to get to them affecting the world, beyond giving them more reason to turn on them. And I think that was the biggest issue of the Snyderverse. That's where I think a lot of people's biggest gripes were. Yes, I think people, much like everyone say, oh, it's woke, when they mean bad writing and everything. I think that the Snyderverse's issues wasn't that they ruined the characters. It's that they put it in a world that just wasn't going to work in the long run, or at least wasn't going to be easily accepted by everyone. And I think that's been the biggest issue. The characters were trying to exist in this world, but the world was so overpowering. That's what I think it is. And I think with the absolute DC universe is kind of giving me that insight. It's the world was trying to affect them. And unfortunately, at least with it was absolutely absolute DC, at least you have the mainstream DC to still look at, so you can judge the two. But having the Snyderverse be our only cinematic movies for the longest time, and having that world be the world we were stuck with, and then of course others trying to fix it, which made things clash even more. Like, wait, but they're acting different here than they are in this one. Again, that's where the issue, I think, all started from, was trying to have the world be so cynical. And again, I question, were they ever really going to change, make the world better or not? And it's hard to say. Like I said, it's like, I gotta say, it's like the entire Snyderverse was basically, what if, here's like I say, Gotham's taint affected the whole world. It felt like every part of the world was more like influenced by Gotham's energy and less Metropolis's energy. It kind of like if Superman Darkseid energy, the Snyderverse felt more like the world was affected by Gotham energy, whereas this feels more like Metropolis energy is what this world feels like. If to coin a phrase, because that's what we need. We needed something that was closer, but not too much. Again, this feels like that great balance between being comic booky and yet still being a little realistic. But but again, that's where I feel the big problems have been. People really needed, things to you guys get what I mean. But overall, I just truly enjoy and love this. This was what we needed. We needed this trailer, and it delivered. So my butts was already going to be in the seat, but now the fact that certain people, I'm not going to name names, but some people I know have already saying, "I'm interested. I'm curious. My expectations have been raised a little." Things like that. I am so looking. That's a victory for me. Yes, there's a whole lot of Snyder bros out there who are pushing it. Yes, but like I said, this world is giving us what we've needed, what we truly have needed, and that's a DC universe, a universe that we want to see these world characters exist in. And again, that was the biggest problem with the Snyderverse. It was now a world we want to see these characters in. Really, truly think about it. Was this a world you wanted, wanted the heroes to exist in? No. No, it wasn't. You didn't want to see these heroes in this world. You didn't want to see this world affect them, because it wasn't a match, if you ask me. This is the world you wanted these heroes in. This is the type of people and everything you wanted to see them interact with. And that's all I gotta say. I'm kind of repeating myself, but thank you guys so much, and see you in the next one.